being on air for 8 hours meant we had to split the students into sort of mini production teams. So we had 3 separate running orders through the day. We had 3 separate producer directors. We had 3 different presenters through the day. And we knew exactly where every match, every game was kicking off, where it would be played, when it would finish.
I believe we've just had a win for the Met men's singles, which will make it now 4-2. Our other point came from Alex Hyman, of course, in his first opening singles game.
And that's because we've got an amazing relationship with Danielle and Will Fuller and the Cardiff Met SU sports team. They gave us all the information. They gave us access to all areas to film. They gave us little interview zones on campus. So we had freedom of the campus to film whatever we want. And as a result of all that planning, we were able to stick to our running order. We were using something called Rundown Creator to create all our running orders, all our scripts. We had autocue up and running in the studio. We had floor managers who were running back and forth to reception to pick up guests who maybe had just won a match or were just waiting to play their match.
We selected 4 matches that we wanted to stream. We wanted to do them in their entirety, but how do you do that when you want to do a studio show and you want to bring it all together and have one overarching broadcast? So we put a dedicated feed. We did a feed for the wheelchair basketball, men's football, women's rugby and the men's basketball. We did each of those games independently. That meant that if somebody didn't want to go from basketball to football as we switched our main studio feed, they could stay on basketball. They could tune in and watch whatever of those 4 events they wanted to, uninterrupted, without any deviance at all, without any news or feedback from elsewhere that's going on. They just focused on their independent broadcasts. We're lucky. We've got a fantastic broadcast gantry at our rugby pitch. We've got a gantry at football, and we've got a monkey tower that gives us the elevation that we much needed in our basketball arena. So they were our 3 setups. We had 2 events at the arena, so we were able to use that setup at basketball more than once. We had full commentary at each of those sites. 2 commentators, each plugged into that independent stream. And with our talkback system, if we were to throw down from our main studio broadcast and join one of those live events, we would give them a heads up. We're just coming to you. We'll be with you now in 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1. And then that live stream then would introduce the fact that we're on the main feed.
Now, turning our attention to a women's rugby team who have enjoyed a strong National League campaign, unfortunately crashing out last week at the semi-finals stage to reigning champions and favourites Hartpury. The players will now look to end their season on a high and for some, Met careers. Let's join our commentary team of James Roberts and Ethan Walsh.
Prynam da a croeso, Rugby 1. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the Rugby 1 pitch here at Kincoid campus.
But of course, if you were watching that independently, your view would be uninterrupted. It was a big undertaking. 4 independent live streams plus our main studio show.
So across the season, some of our students have become incredible commentators. So by the time we got to Varsity, we had a brilliant pair of commentators on the football, Griff and Jamesy.
He had the chance. It was a tough free kick right on the edge of the box.
Chance from the corner now, though. It's high and it's hanging. It's a touch. Oh, it's a chance, though. It's in. And it's Elliot Creeley who gives Bath the lead against the run of play.
We had 2 fantastic commentators in the Archers Arena covering basketball. That was Ryan and Dav.
Dan Flaherty shows, goes, drives. He hits it.
And we had a dream team of rugby commentators, James and Ethan.
Yeah, and it's sailed between the uprights. It's 2 extra points for Cardiff, mate.
So they've really matured as commentators this year. They've grown, and it was just amazing to see the amount of prep they were doing, the amount of research they were putting in. They've learned so much from the likes of Dave Rogers on the Bucks Super Rugby this year, who's been really supportive with them. And I'm not surprised that so many of those commentators I've just named are now getting paid work in the industry. James has been commentating on the UK lacrosse recently. He's been doing Bucks Super Rugby. He's been doing American football. Dav has been doing international basketball. Ryan's been doing international basketball for Basketball Wales. So it is no surprise that the experiences that they've had working for Cardiff Met Sport TV this year and working on the Varsity has now led to them getting paid professional work out in the industry, and we're so proud of them.
So before coming to study on the course at Cardiff Met, I had an interest in commentary. I thought it would be a really cool part of sports broadcasting to explore. And since coming onto the course, with the opportunities that have been made available to us the entire time we've been studying, I've just fallen in love with it. I absolutely adore commentating on a variety of sports, and the opportunities here at Cardiff Met were there to inspire me to do more. And actually, it wasn't just myself that fell in love with commentary. It's people like Davith Jones, Ryan Bellini, Matt James, and we've all, thrown ourselves into this commentary position, and we've had so much experience throughout the year as well that all of us have developed our craft and really honed in our own personal take on commentary as well. And needless to say, it's then gone on to outside world experiences. I've gone on to commentate on Championship Rugby. I know Dav's been commentating on a lot of Basketball Wales stuff, as well as our very own Cardiff Met Archers in a Women's Premier League as well, nonetheless. So it's been fantastic to see that those opportunities are there, and it's been a great experience, and Varsity was a fantastic commentary experience as well.
We also have a few students that love presenting. That was James, Kian, Meg. They were on air all day, and running orders were changing, guests weren't showing up, breaking news was happening, but they were unflappable all day. Really slick, really professional, and we were so impressed with how they handled everything. Talk back, changes, live TV can be crazy, but they were fantastic.
Across the day, I got to produce, direct and present, so it gave me a feel for the whole day, the whole production. I had to prep, write scripts, design running orders, and I just learned so much. I learned what it was like to be a part of so many different aspects of a live production that involves so many different sports, so many unexpected scenarios, and just learning how to deal with it all, staying calm under pressure, and I would 100% do it again.
So yeah, after I was a roaming reporter, I had the chance to present the second out of 3 parts of the live show, and I love getting my face in front of camera, so I was absolutely buzzing to do it. I think we ended up recording for about 4 to 5 hours. I was having to throw to, 3 different games here.
One team chasing a win to another. Caitlin, how are we looking down at the hockey?
Within that was a variety of guests I was interviewing, talking about their sports, talking about results, and we were having to think on our feet because we constantly had scores and results coming in. But at the same time, we have to make sure that we were giving the people we were interviewing enough time on camera, making sure that they knew they were valued and an important part of Varsity. So that was really fun. It was constantly working, tiring work, but so rewarding at the end of it. And then for the third part of the show, I was helping to co-produce. We had issues with getting guests in on time. We had blocks that needed to be filled, but we were able to do that well by getting to our contacts throughout the university, and we were able to get the show over the line in the end.
We did 5 streams and 1 8-hour-long broadcast. No technical glitches, none of the streams went off air. It was clean all day. The students were phenomenal. It was all down to planning, the preparation, the kit that we'd invested in, the teamwork. The students had an absolutely incredible experience, bringing together such a plethora of roles. Some on cameras, some taking care of graphics, some were on-screen talent, some were doing replays, some were doing the production. It didn't matter what we pushed them towards, they all embraced it with 2 hands and just ran with the opportunity. There aren't many places where you could do a single 8-hour broadcast with 5 complete streams. The experience is just fantastic. It was hard work. It was a long day, but just so rewarding for them, for the staff that were there helping it along. Everybody took their own individual responsibility, behaved professionally. It was just fantastic.
People talk about the Cardiff Uni v Swansea Uni Varsity being a massive event, and it is, but they don't live stream it all day like we do. They don't showcase it to the world like we do with our Cardiff Met and Bath University Varsity. But what we're trying to do here is create a situation, create an environment where our students, our broadcast and media students, can be placed into real world scenarios with industry pressures, with deadlines, with a live audience, all of the things you'd expect if you were working on Soccer Saturday for Sky Sports or on Match of the Day. We do all of that here. We're doing live match coverage, live commentary, live graphics, analysis. We're creating VTs. We've got presenters and reporters and floor managers and directors and camera operators and people operating the replay machines. All of that is happening, and it's giving them an experience that we really don't think you can get at any other university in the UK. And that's why we think this group of sport broadcast students have got an amazing future ahead of them.